This time I came a little prepared. Hello YouTube, it's me again. And I was gonna do a different video, but instead something came up, so I was gonna talk about drug addiction. I'll talk about that in another video. But this one's a very serious one. This was probably more serious than all the other ones. It's suicide, and we go through it every day. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing. It's horrible just to have someone take their life over something small. I'm just gonna name off. There's a couple. I mean, we've had a couple suicides this year, a couple years past years. Friends, family, loved ones, comedians, artists, successful people, shit like that. Um, I'm gonna name off a couple of people that that personally I don't know. These are just real life comedians or real life businessmen, athletes, artists, stuff like that. Mainly all American. I really don't know a whole lot of like Spanish or all the other ones, Spanish, Chinese. I don't know a whole lot of them. I know you guys do, or you guys will probably know, but some of these you might know if you guys are athletes or you guys are well known of that person. I might slaughter these names too. So Philip Adams, he was an American football player. He shot himself during a police standoff. That's kind of sad, and that happened this year. I don't know when it happened. I was locked up for the last 3 months, so that could have happened in the last 3 months I was locked up. So, I mean, it's kind of sad that he was successful. He was a football star. He was making probably 6, 7 figures easily for being a football artist or a football player, and just to end his life like that, it's sad. Steve Bang, he was an American businessman, film producer. I mean, very successful. He was making probably 6, 7 figures as well. He jumped off a 27th floor building. So you know what that means. He probably got overwhelmed with everything, or things weren't going right. That happened in 2020, so that was when COVID started happening. So I mean, most of these were all recent, basically. Like I went back from only 2020 to 2022. There's only one on here that's a stand up legend that everyone knows. So I had to have him in the list. Steve Carl Crash. He was an American YouTuber. I'm not sure if you guys know him. He did Talkie Kitty Cat. He suffered from a gunshot from an episode of bipolar disorder. So mainly some disorders will make you do that. This is a Spanish actor, Veronica Forqué. She was a Spanish actor. All you Hispanics, or I don't want to be politically wrong, but people in that type of era, it's kind of sad to just lose someone like that over like it's sad to lose actors too like that. Jeremy Gamby, he was an American professional baseball player. You guys probably know him. I never really got into sports. I'm really not a sport guy. You guys probably well known. 6, 7 figures as well. Again, very well known. Probably gunshot. It's just sad. Very sad. All you LGTBs, you might know this one. It's Egyptian. Sarah Hegsey. I think I pronounced that wrong. I'm not sure, but she suffered for being tortured. Peter Robbins, he was an American voice actor. You guys probably well know him. He was Charlie Brown, and he struggled with mental illness. Even like older folks are committing suicide every day. And the legend, I call him the legend. He's still a legend to me. Robert Williams. He died in 2014. He was suffering from depression. He was a comedian and actor. It's just sad to really hope anything bad on anyone. There's some rules and stuff. There's a suicide hotline you can call if you know someone or need someone to need this number. They have a speed number now, a speed dial, 988. I'm gonna link that. I'm gonna have that in the description. And I'm gonna have the other number, the real other number that you can use too. I'm gonna have that in the description too. We all can prevent suicide. 24/7 free confidential support in distress. If you know someone, or if you are going through some type of suicidal moods or swings or some type of sadness, you can definitely get a hold of these numbers. Someone will want to help you. Someone's in need to help you. They have these to prevent suicides happen every day. The leads of suicide, you guys probably already know, but some that don't know, or know someone that's going through something like this, there's no signal to cause it. You can be silent, you can be a mute, and you can be suicidal. And that's a really hard thing to tell if someone's suicidal or not. Most occur from stressors, health issues, experience of hopelessness and despair. I mean, there's a lot of stress that goes on in an everyday human life. I mean, for me, I'm going through quite a bit too, but it's not enough for me to have these bad thoughts or these really terrible thoughts. I'm able to cope with what I have to cope with and deal with what I got to deal with. Depression's the most common associated with suicide. It's just how everyday life is, like how we do it, how we make it, what we do. It's just what it does. It kills us inside, that we just don't want help, or we can't afford the help. And that right there is the main thing of suicide, or of not trying to find help, is we can't afford it. And I wish there was more plans out there that were able to help us afford it, or a better life insurance plan to make us help us afford it. Some people can't afford life insurance. I know there's Medicaid out there. I'm not sure if that's everywhere, but that's pretty cheap right now. For me, I don't have insurance, only because I'm trying to get a job, and that gives me a little bit better insurance than Medicaid. So I'm trying to work up to that so I can get that, so I can work on my other mental problems, or like any type of insurance I need for it to use it. There's risk factors into this, where it's like health, or it's like mental health conditions, depression, substance abuse problem, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, conduct disorder, anxiety disorder, physical health conditions including pain, and traumatic brain injury. Those are all the health benefits of having suicide thoughts or becoming suicidal. And these are the thoughts, or these are the plan of the action to see if you have it, or if you know someone that has it, or they're thinking about it or debating it. These are the flags you got to catch when it comes to having suicide. And I know I'm rambling on quite a bit. I wrote down a lot that I thought I was going to get to, but most of it I probably won't. There's environmental types of form of suicide, where it's access to lethal means of firearms or drugs. I mean, drugs is a big one right now. After COVID hit, drugs are now everywhere, and they are more dangerous than they probably ever will be, unless they come out with a different type of big pandemic. But right now, they're everywhere, and people are dropping like flies, and that's really horrible to say, but in the saddest of truth, that's what's happening right now. People are ODing over a lot of drug issues. I'll talk more about it later in a different video. Historical events when it comes to suicide. It's either previous attempts, if they've talked about it, or if they've known about it. Try to steer them a different way. Family history, if you know family members that tried to attempt, or they succeeded sadly. That's another way of telling. Or childhood abuse, neglect, or trauma. Those are all other flags you can catch for historical ways of suicidal nowadays. And protective ways is access to mental health care. Be proactive about your mental health. For me, I don't really have urges. I do have a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety when it comes to just everyday life and activity. For me being out of jail and having a lot of shit I got to do right away, I do a lot of coloring. I would show you my pictures and stuff when I can. I'll probably say that for another video, or a short video, or a little clip on it. But I do a lot of coloring. I used to do a lot of writing when I was in there, so that kind of made things a lot more calmer when I was in there doing my own thing. Feeling connected with family, community support. Always try to reach out for community support or your family. Those are your best options to stay protected and stop worrying or stop going to have these suicidal thoughts. Problem solving and coping skills. if you keep your mind busy with other opportunities or other things that's going on, that could potentially save a life too. Cultural religious beliefs that encourage connecting help, seeking discourage suicidal behavior, creating strong sense of purpose, self-esteem. For me, I didn't have a lot of self-esteem before I got locked up, and now I'm trying to work on my self-esteem, trying to make me feel and be a better person than I was before, and hope for the best when I become a better person. Right now, I'm probably still not becoming a better person, only because there's a lot I got to do from the start that I have to start with, but I'm trying my best and I'm doing my best when it comes to it. There's warning signs when it comes to having these type of incidents happen on. We won't be able to know, we won't be able to tell, but if we pick up on small signs here and there, we might be able to pick something up. Warning signs, change of behavior, presents entirely new behaviors, could be related to painful events, or major change, can tell how they speak or do activities strangely. In a way, you can tell if someone changes their attitude, if there was a passing in the family, or if there's a lot going on just in their activity life. Like if they're very busy, but they're very enthused to doing anything, so they just kind of drop it all, just go with the flow and just handle it. I mean, some people will go to drugs if there's a suicide, or people will harm themselves in a way if there's some type of dramatic change in a life. It's horrible to say, but it's very true when it comes to something like that. Like for me, I'm going through my family and they're doing pretty all right now. My grandparents aren't really making it, but they're surviving for how old they are. They lived a good life. They lived a long life. They're very happy. It's just another thing to really deal with. Another way of seeing if there's more signs, if they talk about it, or you can sense what they're talking about or thinking what they're doing. Like if they're talking about killing themselves every day, feeling hopeless, no reason to live, being a burden to others, trapped, unbearable pain. Those are all easy signs to tell if one's about to commit suicide, or one's about to try to attempt it, or in some matter try to hide it from someone. Everyone says they're a burden to everyone. The whole world's out to get them. That's a normal thing you always hear every day. That's not always true. That's only who you surround yourself with and who you want to be amends with. Like for me, I don't like being a burden. I hate being a burden. So I kind of distance myself from the people that I love, the people that I know, to see if I actually was a burden or not. And I was not. It's just how I assumed it. And I'm a one that doesn't like to assume anything anymore. I like to just know it and not know it, or just figure it out and see if that is or that isn't. As simple as that, kind of. I'm going to skip a little bit because I am definitely not flying through this as I thought I was. There's moods. You can tell from a mood swings or some other type of moods they're having. People consider suicide often display one or many moods. It could be depression, anxiety, loss of interest, humiliation or shame, irritability, which is a quick ability to annoyance or impatientness, anger, anxiety, nervous, relief, a sudden improvement. The way of telling from a suicide or attempted suicide or someone he knows about, it could be in a relationship, it could be from a divorce, it could be from a passing, like I said before, losing a job, unemployment. It could be a lot of things why someone wants to commit suicide or someone wants to end their life. And the only way we could really do, because we really can't help that person if they don't want to help themselves first. That's the horrible thing about it. If no one wants help, if that one person does not want the help they want or the help they need, it's just, I don't know really how to word it, but that's the first step, and where they need a help. They need a good support group. It could be a family, friend, relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever. It's if they are willing to have that support group help them out with all their mental problems or their craziness problems. I'm for of all supporting and helping anyone that needs help with anything and everything they need. I, for one, can't be there for every single person out there only because I'm one person dealing with several other problems with other people. But first, I got to help myself before I help anyone else. And that's another thing, too. You have to help yourself, put the forth and effort of putting yourself into a good perspective so you can start helping other people. I want to make a difference by changing and using my experience with helping other people on their experiences on how I took it, how I've done it or how I've taken it, and share my wealth. That's the best way I can share it. I know I went off a little bit on my script, and I went off a little bit on how I spoke and said things. Please feel free to throw some shade down in the comments if I really messed that up, or help me understand if I did good or did bad in a way. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this was very lengthy, but I'm just here to try to share my wealth and help out as much as I can, as well as I can, with everything that goes on. Hopefully, I'll have another video tomorrow about drug addiction and how it affected me and how it affected the people around me. I just want to share my experience so other people can see that experience and try to change their life for the greater good if they're about to go through it or they are going through it. Anyways, please feel free to leave anything you want to say at the bottom. I'm very bad at this. I am just starting out fresh all over again. And I just want to try something new. This is one thing how I want to try it new. But anyways, thank you for watching, and hope to see a greater day after this. And remember, you always matter to whoever it is.